Hey guys, how you doing? So this is that 2016 Jeep Wrangler that was towed to my house because they had overheated it and it caused the oil filter housing to start leaking. So I put an oil filter housing on it. I've also put a thermostat in it. The thermostat was stuck shut. And while I pulled it up into my driveway to work on it, I noticed the ABS light was on. So I called the owner of this Jeep and told him, do you want me to take a look at this ABS light while I've got it, or are you okay with it? And he said, yeah, go ahead and take a look, and let's see what it's going to take to fix it. So let's get in the Jeep. I'm going to hook my scan tool to it. We're going to see what, if any, codes it's got, and we're going to see what we got to do to fix this ABS light. And I'm just going to do a smart scan. Since this scanner's got high-speed scanning, it doesn't take long at all. So you can see it's scanning multiple modules at the same time. They just introduced that, I think, on the last update. Looks like we've already got two modules. We've got the ABS module and the transmission control module. That's got codes. And obviously we're going to go into the ABS module. We got a C1015 right front wheel speed sensor circuit. I'm going to go ahead and hit the arrow right there to the right of it, and that gives you a fault detail. Do have to be connected to the internet to get this right here. It's pulling this off of a server somewhere. Kind of gives you a rundown on what you may need to do. Okay, let's go back. Let's go into the actual module itself. And what I want to do, read data stream. I want to pull up the all the wheel speed sensors, especially the right front. I'll hit OK to that. We will graph them. And basically, I'm just going to back up. Usually, you don't have to hardly drive fast at all to see if you've got a wheel speed sensor not working. So I'm just going to, I've got the camera mounted to the emergency brake handle. So I'm just going to back up. We're going to watch all four of them. Then I'll pull forward. I'm assuming that we are not going to have, yeah, the right front is completely dead. Well, we got a little blip out of the right front. What did we get there? Let's go backwards again. Then let's go forward. It's definitely not matching. Let's take it around the block. Let me figure out where I can mount this camera so that I can drive. It's definitely not looking like the other three. But we are getting something out of it. Yeah, typically wheel speed sensors will match each other almost exactly, together. You can see that right front is nowhere close to what the other three are. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, you can see that right front is nowhere close. Guess I should have recorded that, but I didn't. But we can clearly see that the right front is totally different than the other three.
All right, guys, so I've just kind of visibly looked at everything, and everything looks good. This is the wire for the ABS sensor, and it goes right up behind this shock tower, and I can actually feel the connector, but I can't get any access to it. It's actually kind of pulled kind of tight, probably because of this lift kit, and I can see it. See if I can get you a view of it. It's right. You know what? Let me get this air box out of the way. I'm gonna take this air box out of the way, that way, because I need to get down to that connector anyway. So, all right, guys. So I just popped the air box up out of there. Once you disconnect it from here, it literally just pops right down in here, and it looks like they've already busted off one of the studs. It should be held down with 3. This one is only held down with 2, so it came out really easy. But now you can see that connector right there is the one that we're after. It goes right into that harness. The harness all looks good. Doesn't look like it's been damaged or anything. So basically, I think this is looking like it's just going to be a bad wheel speed sensor. We are going to have to take this tire off, and then take the caliper bracket off and the rotor, and then the wheel speed sensor is easily changed on these. So let me get this tire off. I'm going to get it lifted, get the tire off, and we're going to change this wheel speed sensor and see if it takes care of it. Circuit wise, I think we're fine, because it is reading something on the scan tool. It's just trashy. It's all over the place. So as far as it being, you know, physically connected wire wise, I think we're probably good there. One thing you can do to verify, if you don't want to buy a wheel speed sensor, if you need to know 100%, the wheel speed sensors are only like 20 bucks. They're pretty cheap, but you can actually lift the vehicle up, unplug both wheel speed sensors from each side, run jumpers over to the one you're suspecting as being bad, spin the other tire, the other wheel, and if it reads fine, then you know that, you know, you're basically substituting the opposite wheel speed sensor on the other side, running it into the connector of the harness to make sure that harness wise all the way to the computer that you're good. So you know, that's one thing you can do. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. We're going to put a $20 wheel speed sensor in it, and if that doesn't fix it, which I think it will, but if it doesn't, then we'll go from there. All right, the first thing I want to do is compress this piston just a little bit, if I can. That's plenty. That's just to so that whenever I get ready to slide this off, it'll come off nice and easy. And I'm going to undo all these little rubber keepers on the sensor itself. That way, whenever I pull this caliper off, it will not hinder me up. All these scratches on my hand, it was also from this Jeep, replacing that fuel housing. All right. So now I'm going to leave the caliper on the caliper bracket. I'm going to take the two 21mm bolts out, pull this whole caliper bracket off as an assembly, hang it up out of here, over here out of the way, and then we'll get the rotor off and get this sensor changed out. All right, and just to show you the actual sensor, this right here. So 1 Allen wrench, and that sensor should pull up out of there. Let's see, this is probably going to be metric if I had to guess. Yeah, what is that, 5 millimeter? Surely you don't have to take the backing plate off. Okay, let me think here. I hate to bend the backing plate if I don't have to, but it looks like it looks like they're going to make me bend it. Maybe not. Yep, okay, so you got two options here. You can take the hub off, which I'm not going to do, or you can bend this backing plate a little bit so that you can fish this sensor out of there, which is what I am going to do, because I think you'll be able to easily bend that back. So it's up to you whether you want to take the whole hub and everything apart or tweak the backing plate the way I did. It is always good to look down in the hole. I mean, it looks spotless, looks nice and shiny and clean, so that's always good. There's some trash and stuff on this sensor. That might have been what was causing the erroneous reading. Put a little bit of this lube around the O-ring there. Now it comes with a new screw. I think I'm going to use the factory screw. So the sensor's in. All we got to do is do the routing and get her plugged in. This one back out so that I can get the socket on it. Now what we got to do is get up there to the connector and get it disconnect it. That's better. There we go. Now the factory one was not poked in its little holes. Probably because the lift kit pulled it out. But I've got this one poked in its holes. Snap those back in there. And we should be good. So I'm going to get this put back together. Then we're going to go take this thing for a drive. Alright guys, so it's funny because Pro Demand has the removal of the caliper mounting bracket. They call it a caliper adapter. And in the removal, they just tell you to take these two big bolts out. There is no install for it in Pro Demand, so it had no Torx for this. So I just did some Googling. The closest thing that I could find was 148 foot-pounds. So that's what we're going to go with. That should be pretty close to right. Okay. If that's not right, let me know. All right, so the only thing that's left is put the wheel on and test drive it. So that'll be next. All right, guys, so I got everything put back together. We're getting ready to test drive it. But the first thing I want to do is let's see if the code's still there. And it is C1015. Let's see if it'll clear. The other day when I was looking at the codes that it possibly had for the oil leak and the overheating and stuff, I did a full code clear and the ABS sensor came right back. It was instantaneous. So we're going to hit clear fault code, read fault code. It is clear. So now let's go over here to data stream. Let's put in our we'll go ahead and do all four of them again. Let's take it around the block. The ABS light is off currently, so like I say, the other day it came right back on. Make sure you pump your brakes. Since we pushed the piston of the caliper in, your brake pedal will go down a little bit farther than what you're used to. And so far everything's looking good. No ABS light. Our right front sensor is matching the other three. I do see a little bit of a blip right there. Whatever that was, it did not bring the ABS light on. You know what? I'm going to hit record. Just in case I need to review some of it. take a look here. I mean, that looks good to me right there. Let's unrecord that. Another good thing you can do is hit combine and then drive it and make sure that they all four match. In fact, let me just back up real quick, show you what I'm talking about. That's another good way to do ABS sensors. They all should match pretty close. That's matching. Anyway, all four are looking like they're matching up pretty good. There's no ABS light. So we're going to call this done. This Jeep's got 83,000 miles on it, in case you're curious. And we just put a ABS sensor in it on the right front due to a code. Anyway, we're done. You guys take care.